moving from an employee mindset, you have to change the mindset. What are the hurdles you faced?
Huge hurdles. Okay, the first thing is I had to drop my ego. I felt I'm good at selling, but then I realized no, I'm not. That's a different business, requires a different aspect. You have to come out of that mindset that on 31st there will be a salary in my account.
What is something that people don't like about you?
Mainly my wife. Okay.
What did it do to you?
Actually, it hurt a lot. Somewhere I found that I don't fit in there.
I can imagine that the children who learn robotics, they can even say to their parents, why don't we automate the lights?
Yeah, there is a threat that okay, their houses will get damaged now. So parents, sorry for that, but
So the parents may think that there's some paranormal activity happening. Giving children the tools, like for example, I had this idea that, in Goa we have monkeys, and these monkeys come and jump on the tiles, break the tiles, they come and steal the fruits. What if I could create, like a paintball gun on the top of my roof, which actually scans and look, okay, there's a monkey there, and then aims the gun there and shoots some bullets. To accomplish that, can you tell us the workflow that you would go through?
Hard work beats talent if talent doesn't work hard.
Welcome to the Creative Genesis podcast. What's up, guys? This is season 2 of the podcast, so things are going to be different. No more ads, no more talking for long. I'm just going to get straight to the point. Today's podcast is with Flight Commander Manoj Jamsandekar. He's an amazing guy, and I'll tell you why. He's had a great career in the Air Force, an amazing job and everything in Australia. With an IT company, he was doing very well, but he quit all of it to serve the children of India by teaching them robotics. This episode is going to be very interesting. I asked him some difficult questions, so I don't want to waste much time. Let's get straight into the interview. My name is Ryan Lobo of Winfluence Media. The Creative Genesis podcast is shot at Creator Studio Goa. Guys, if you want to be interviewed by me on the Creative Genesis podcast, I've shared that email below. That email is strictly for business only. So get in touch and we are open. Welcome to another episode of the Creative Genesis podcast. Today we are with Mr. Manoj Jamsandekar. Thank you, sir, for joining us on the podcast. How are you doing?
I'm good.
Yeah, it's good to have you in Goa.
Yeah, I'm enjoying my time here.
Yeah, but this is like the wrong time to be in Goa. It's super hot.
Yeah, that's not only Goa, it's all over India this time. Yeah.
Where do you live otherwise?
I stay in Kolhapur.
Okay, so I've never been to Kolhapur, but I heard the food is amazing.
Yeah, it's a different kind of food, a little hot, spicy.
I think Kolhapuri food is known to be more spicy.
Yes.
Great. So, very interesting that you have worked in the Air Force right after engineering.
Yes.
Why did you want to get into the Air Force? I mean, what was your initial thought like, hey, maybe I should get into the Indian Air Force?
Actually, young days, and you have, you're passionate about lots of things, and yes, absolutely, I was very much interested in serving a nation.
Oh, really?
And so it was my first priority that I have to go into defense services. I tried first during my third year of engineering. I failed, by whisker, and then I again gave it a try in my last year, where I was successful in getting into Indian Air Force.
Wow, congratulations! Because when I was in engineering, I had a lot of my friends who were in the defense. Their parents worked in the Navy or the Army, and so we were all like crazy about it, And many of them today are serving in the defense. I have 2 very close friends who are in the Army. So anyway, during my time also, I applied for the Indian Air Force. I passed the written exam, and then I went for the SSB in Mysore. And Mysore, the army bases are huge.
Yeah.
Like in the middle of the city, I believe the army bases. It's massive. And I didn't pass I think the round that I failed is the psychological round.
Okay.
The first, I think that's one of the first tests that they do, right?
Yes.
They make you look at a picture and then describe what it is.
Correct.
So I'm telling you, what is the idea behind those psychological tests? Just for my understanding.
I too don't know what exactly they want to look forward, but I just was myself.
Okay.
If the first time I thought I was not myself when I was answering those questions.
Oh, really?
I was little too idealistic in answering. Okay, thinking about if this is a situation, what would ideally a person should do, not what I will do. The second time I thought, okay, no, let me tell what I will do, and that might be the difference. So generally when we have this taste, we try to be idealistic, whereas they want a real person out of you. Maybe.
The funny thing is, I answered as myself.
Okay.
Whatever I thought I need to say, I said. But I think they rejected me because probably they saw some, I think what they're looking for is die-hard positivity in a person.
Yeah.
Maybe I was a little cynical because they test that, in the psychological test, they check, is this person cynical? Is he a optimist or a pessimist? Maybe they saw some cynicism in me.
Okay, yeah. Maybe.
But I'll tell you something. I don't think I could survive in the defense. I'll tell you why. Okay? So that I finished that test and I was walking to the canteen or wherever. And this place is massive. So you feel like a little dot in that place. Huge grounds, just a road, massive grounds. You feel like a dot. And sir, it was so silent. It was scary.
Okay. No, it's not. Actually, defense services are also famous for their social life.
Yes.
Yeah, so you have a fantastic social life. You meet your fellow officers in the evenings. You go for a walk. You go for sports. So fantastic social life there. So you maybe that's a training institute. So more of a discipline and more of maintaining that decorum. But if you go into
I definitely agree because since my friends are from the defense background, they had amazing social lives. The balls and the parties, and it's amazing. But what I discovered is that perhaps that kind of environment was not for me. Because I'm more of a creative. But what I understand from the defense is, if they tell you to sweep 5 tiles, out of your enthusiasm, if you sweep 6, you're punished.
Yeah,
you have to do exactly as they say. So, can you tell us about that? What is the kind of discipline? What is the kind of things that they expect in the defense?
Yeah, that's very important because as a soldier or as when you are fighting a war or a battle, there should not be any confusions. There should be only one person giving the orders, and whatever is the order, exactly that order has to be followed. So that's the main requirement of fighting a battle, and so that requirement you are expected to follow that or practice that in every part of your life. And so, as you said, you are told to sweep 5, not 6, not even 5.5.
Yeah.
Okay, because that's what is important when you go to the battle.
Right.
And that's there for every. So, and that's why we have the hierarchical culture there. And that's a requirement. So, sometimes, yes, it is maybe detrimental to creativity. Okay, but we are not there for creativity. We are there to serve the nation and serve in a fashion which is decided by your higher ups.
Absolutely.
So that's very important there.
Yeah, I really respect those who serve in the defense. Respect to you. Respect to my friends who are out there, because honestly, it's not an easy life. Because of the strict discipline, because of the need to please your superiors, and you sometimes have to put a stop to your personality and do exactly what is required at that moment.
Yeah, may I just go. I would say a small correction. I would say it's not to please your superior. It's to basically listen to them. That's a very different thing, because we are expected to stand for things during the peacetime. We are expected to give our opinions, which may not be aligning with your superior's opinion. So as an officer, we are expected to come up with different ideas. We are expected to bring that diversity. Okay. So it is not the pleasing a superior, but it is basically listening to them when the decision is taken. Once the decision is taken, now there is no whether you like it or not, you have to follow it.
Yeah.
So that's it.
Yeah. I agree, because there are two close friends of mine who are there. One of them was from a civilian background. Okay, he got into the army. The other one, his mother was a nurse in the army, so he also got into the army. The one who was from a civilian background, from what I heard, he's really struggling.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Maybe he expected something else. Maybe he's unable to cope up with the kind of strictness. But the one who is from his mother was in the defense, he's doing well.
Yeah.
But he was like the most outgoing, most loud guy, but now he's more disciplined, more gentlemanly. So it really shapes your character.
Absolutely.
And I also said that I really respect those, because it's not an easy, and it's a very important function for our country to maintain its freedom, to maintain its decorum, and I really respect that.
Yeah, thank you.
But for anyone who's wanting to get into the defense, what message do you have for them?
Go into defense services. It's a service. You need to first understand, okay, when we say defense services, it's a service, it's not a job. That's the first thing we need to understand.
What is the difference?
The difference is, in job, you basically do that thing to earn money, okay, to earn a livelihood. So here you are not going there to earn a livelihood. To go one step further, there is a chance that you are going to lose your life. So it's not to earn your livelihood, it's basically to serve the mother nation. Why we go there. When you are serving, you are not looking at the money what you get. Yes, defense services, they
pay well.
They pay very well. They take care of you. They take care of your families. They take care of everything. So that's not a question. But that should not be on your mind. So, okay, if you want to join to do a service to the nation. Okay, and then it's as good as any other profession. It's as good. Rather, I would say it is on a higher side. You get lots of respect, as you said. You just now said you get lots of respect, and these days slowly people are understanding the contribution of soldiers. Once again, they are understanding it, and they have started. There was a time where soldiers like us, we felt that okay, we are not getting the due, but then now again I see that that respect for the soldiers is rising.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I remember during one of my interviews, they asked me, why do you want to join the Indian Navy? The Navy guys came. So I said, sir, I want to wear that white uniform. It looks so amazing.
Yeah, that's true.
So they said, you can just go and stitch one at the tailor.
Okay. Yeah.
But it's truly, what a beautiful profession. I would say not a profession, it's a service, right? You're serving the nation. I really like how you made that distinction. It's a service, and the kind of respect you get. And I have seen everybody who has been part of the defense, discipline is like admirable. The defense builds your discipline so well, and I really love that. Yeah. But you know what? One of the things that I always do when I start the Creative Genesis podcast, I ask my guests who they are. For those of you who don't know Mr. Manoj, sir, who are you?
I'll give the same answer which I gave in my Air Force interview.
Okay.
He asked me, describe yourself in 5 words.
Okay.
I said, I'm a perfectorian.
Perfectorian.
Yeah. So I said, there are 5 words. He said, what do you mean by that? I said, you asked me 5 words. I've given you 5 words. Okay. So I am a perfectorian. So what it is? So I am a very sentimental person. Once I get attached to a certain thing, I will, not leave that person or that cause. Okay, and I'm very neat person. I'm very person who is detailed and want to be, systematic. So that's what are the characteristics of a Taurian. So it's like they say, if a Taurian loves a girl, he'll give a rose on day one. If she says no, he'll give another rose on second day. He'll keep on giving the roses till the girl says yes. So that's kind of a perseverance I have, and so that's me.
Wow, that's amazing. Great. I mean, that's a lovely answer. So let me summarize a little bit of that, what I know of you. You were in the Indian Defense. You were there for 8 years and you were working on the missile department.
Yes.
So you graduated as a electronics engineer.
Correct.
Right? And then you say once you join the defense, they have a 1.5 year training. It's like another degree.
Yes.
And you did it in missile systems, is it?
Yeah. So we have this degree of aeronautical engineer. So we all become aeronautical engineers.
Wow.
So aeronautical engineers, electronics, aeronautical engineer, mechanical. And then, so I was in electronics, so I became aeronautical engineer electronics. And then after that, there is a specialization. So everyone gets, to choose one specialized stream. And mine was missiles.
Okay.
So I got to work in the surface to air missiles, which Air Force had that time. They were Russian missiles, and in that also I was working on the launchers.
Okay. Wow. Having a degree from the Indian Defense is a very big thing.
Yeah.
And so I'm imagining that, after you spent 8 years. What was the reason to take an early retirement?
Okay, as you said, I said defense needs certain type of people, defense needs certain type of behavior, defense needs certain type of discipline. Somewhere I found that I don't fit in there. Though I was very much interested in serving the nation, but the kind of requirements defense had, when I went there, as you said, being creative person, you could not have gone there, and exactly that's what happened to me.
Okay.
I've felt that I'm not fitting in. So it's not the issue with the defense services, it's an issue with me that I am not able to fit into that. So I have the creative side of was pulling me and trying to make me do things which were not fitting into the defense decorum. So I decided, okay, it's good good for both, that I will exit. And luckily I got to exit that time, because it's not easy to leave defense services. But during my time, we had a chief of air staff who felt that those who want to leave, they can leave. And so because of that, I could leave defense services. It was a difficult decision for me, but then considering both sides, I took that decision.
But once you leave the defense, you are coming out into the world with a huge credits, a huge respect. You're coming out with so many amazing skills which the market will pick up instantly.
Yes, absolutely.
The kind of defense, the kind of ethics that you are trained with in the defense. But you had all these amazing qualifications. You've done aeronautical engineering. You could have gone into that kind of field, but you chose IT. So what was the reason behind that?
Yeah, my requirement was to be with my family. My wife is a computer engineer, and she was working, and she had a job in Pune. So I wanted to stay close to that, close to her. Like, we wanted to stay together. And for that reason, the job availability in Pune, I had to look at what are the jobs available in Pune, so search for it, and then I realized that there is nothing other than IT which is available. So I always say I accidentally landed up in IT.
Okay.
I was after leaving defense services, I was looking for jobs, and then 4-5 months gone, and then I realized that I am actually losing my technical skills. So let me get some more skills, market skills. So I did one course which is related to SAP, and I immediately got job after doing that course. And so then I picked up that job and I started in IT.
I'm guessing that once you leave the defense, you're also leaving a culture.
Yes.
You're leaving a culture, you're leaving a kind of philosophy on how human relations are. Because when you are in the defense, there's a very strict hierarchy. In the corporate world also, there is a hierarchy, but it may not be that strict, right? How do you transition? Because now, for example, if you're an officer, if you tell your subordinate, do this, he will do exactly that. And it's expected of him and he will obey it. But not so much in the corporate world, right?
Yeah.
So there's a lot more finesse, I think, when you need to get into the corporate world when it comes to dealing with humans and dealing with your co-workers. Are there some lessons that you learned? Are there some difficulties that you faced?
So every profession, I would say that if you have to work with your subordinates, there are different aspects which you have to use. And like in defense services, it came to you as a because you are an officer, people are going to listen to you. It's positional value which you had.
Yes.
Okay.
Positional leadership.
Yeah,
you're
correct.
right.
So here in corporate world, it's based on your technical skills. Okay. If you have the skills, people are going to listen to you. If they know that this man knows his job, they will listen to you because they also want to learn from you.
Right.
So the moment they see that there is an opportunity to learn from the boss, they will listen to you. They will do whatever you want to do. So it's only knowing that which power you have to use. There it was a positional power. Here it was that the power of knowledge.
So in the corporate world, you have to prove yourself a lot more.
Yes.
You have to prove that, hey, this is I know this.
Yes.
And this is what I'm skilled in, and therefore, okay. So that's one of the few things that you learned.
Correct.
And tell us in brief, what was your role in the IT?
Okay, so I joined first. My role was I was a resource deployment manager. So I was supposed to manage the resources because considering my experience in defense services, where man management is very important. So they gave me this job here where I used to decide which person goes into which project based on their skills. Their requirements. So I have to manage the company's requirement as well as the individual's requirement, look at the skills and fit in to the perfect slot. So that was what I did for a year and a half. Then actually I worked as a project manager. So I had a team of 7. I was handling a new account. And from there I grew that account. When I left, I had a team of almost more than 100 people. So I left that account. Then I went into Australia where I changed my technology.
Oh, you went to Australia?
Yes.
Okay.
So there I changed my technology. So I was in SAP now for 5-6 years. I changed and I got into a place where I was working on multiple technologies. So I was an integration manager. So ensuring that all the projects. This was a world's second largest project in terms of the investment.
Okay.
So Gorgon gas, and my role was integration manager. So there were more than 100 projects running at the same time. I had to ensure that there is no no project is waiting for another for any inputs, or if somebody is finished, I should ensure that they are on other jobs. So there is no loss of resource time. And that was my job. So find out the interconnections between the projects and manage those interconnections in a way to keep the downtime as low as possible. So
amazing.
That's what I did.
One of the things you would have learned is discipline.
Yeah.
And how did the discipline that you learned in being in the defense aid you in your corporate field?
Discipline is actually used everywhere. I would say even like you are doing this, you have to be disciplined. Okay, if somebody is coming, and then you have to have this camera there. Now when you came, you were doing this camera, this line, this. So that is, if you have a process, have a process. That's also a discipline.
Yes.
So it's a discipline that I have to follow this process, these steps, and then I have to do it. So everyone is disciplined. Even a creative person like you are disciplined. So I would say that without discipline, nobody can succeed in their professions.
Yeah.
So that was an integral part. I would attribute yes, defense was helped me in improving my discipline, I would say, but I was disciplined even before that.
Yeah.
So that is something which was, I told you, I'm a Taurian, so I was a disciplined person. I was a neat, organized person. So always helped me wherever I went.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then, how long were you in the IT field, and then what was your next transition?
So I was in IT for 10 years. So I realized that I am a restless person. So
Restless.
yeah, because people
Okay.
change jobs and I changed, careers.
Okay.
Yeah. So after 7-8 years in IT, I started finding the job mundane. Because I was doing project management, and I find it was very easy for me. And I once told my boss that, okay, boss, actually I don't go to office, still it will work. So he said, yeah, exactly. That is why I need you in office, because you have made a system which works without you. And if you leave that, the system will collapse. You think that, okay, you're not needed, but you are needed because that system is created by you. So you are needed. But then actually, yes, I understood his, what he said, but then it was, I had less challenge. So I wanted some challenge. And somehow things worked out in the sense when I went to Australia, and I was working in a multicultural country.
Right.
Australia has people from all around the world in there. And
So
whenever
you moved there with your family?
Yes, I moved with my family. I had a daughter that time, so she was small, young, and it was a good time. So when I used to have conversations with these people, everyone talked about India as a big market. But when the conversations were around the making, nobody named India. India was not in the conversations.
Manufacturing or making?
Nothing. So that was kind of a little hurting. And somehow during same time, I saw one TED talk of an Indian boy who was 13 years, and he had dropped out of school, and then created something out of Lego kit, and which was helpful for blind people to interact with the computers. His name is Angad Daryani. So I was motivated by that boy. I was 40, but I was motivated by a 14-year young boy. And I decided, okay, Angad was able to leave school and to achieve his, goal. But there are people in India who can't leave. Like I could not have left my school. I come from a family where earning livelihood was the main thing for me. So I could not have left my school. So what about those people who want to achieve their dreams, but at the same time they can't leave their schools? Okay, so what can I do for them? And that's where me and my wife, we had a brainstorming, and we decided, okay, we'll go back and we'll start working for the children.
Wow.
And that's how I started my third career, I would say.
Amazing. So what was the idea? I mean, go to India, work for children, do what?
So yes, the only thing is work for children. That was the only thing which we knew. And then when I came back, then I went through again systematic manner. I did ideation. Me and my wife, we did ideation. We jotted down different ideas. We decided parameters. We rated them. We did all systematic things, and then we finalized one idea, which is training children in robotics.
I'm just thinking, you're an aeronautical engineer from the defense background, then you got into IT. Your wife is into computer science. This ideation process must have looked very technical.
It is. That is one thing which I learned from my corporate, tenure. So ideation, how we can do ideation, and how we can come up with different things. So I used that for my personal thing.
Wow. I think maybe you should also teach this to people. How to ideate, how to analyze which idea works well, because that's also important, right? You may have a different idea, 100 different ideas, but which is the one to choose? So what is the reason you chose robotics?
No, again,
according to your ideation analysis.
Correct. So I saw that I had experience in electronics because I learned that. I had experience in mechanical and electrical because I worked in that, and then I worked on IT. Okay, and these are the four fields actually are the pillars of robotics.
Okay.
So robotics is all these four engineering streams come together. Robotics is also called as STEAM. Okay, so it is STEM education, which is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics together. So I realized that it aligns with my skills. Okay, then my experience told me that, okay, what are the things which children can learn? I had a small daughter, as told you, when I was in Australia, and my experiences with her our experiments with her gave us, idea about what works with children and what will not work with children. So there we thought that, okay, we are good to go for robotics, and being a technological teaching and aligned with what the children want and what is needed for the future. Okay, because we could make out that robotics is, this was in 2012 when we were having discussions, that robotics is going to be the next big thing. And so that is how we decided, okay, that is the field which we should be teaching children.
Robotics, okay. So why did you think that robotics is going to be the next big field?
So industrial revolution, okay, so India was that time into the third, industrial revolution 3.0, whereas the world was already in 4.0. That is, robotics had already started up there. And the next logical step was that the way India was growing and the way the changes in India was happening very fast. Earlier we were behind the world by 20 odd years always. We were behind the world, but now we were not. We were catching up with the progress world was doing. And so I knew that it won't take 20 years for us to go into that 4.0. We will go into 4.0 much earlier than that. And that's where we saw, because it was happening in outside world, Western world, it is going to happen in India much faster than we think. And yes, actually it started and it changed. Now if you see 2 years back, 2 or 3 years back, in India we had only 4 or 5 engineering institutes offering robotics as a curriculum. Today there are 450 institutes offering robotics as a curriculum, and that changed in 2 years. So that's an exponential growth, because India has almost like catching up with the new technologies. So whatever happens in West, we don't wait for 10 to 12 years for those things to happen in India. Now it happens next day in India. So AI, for example, there are more than 3,000 AI startups in India. Okay, and 500 out of them are in Bangalore itself. So considering this, whatever is happening in AI, the same scale it is happening in India for AI. So that's why we thought robotics.
Okay. So now when you talk about robotics, what are the different things that you teach? You'll have kits, right? You sell kits. Now, what are the different skills that a child needs to learn to get into robotics? I'm sure there are different levels, right? But can you just walk us through that? And can you also tell us why is it important to learn robotics for children today?
Correct, yeah. So we divide robotics into 4 stages. Okay, so first one we call robotics. Then second is automation. So robotics is where there is a machine, singular machine, which you automate. When there is a standalone machine which you automate, we call it robotics. Then when there are multiple machines coming together in an automation, and there is an automation sequence of machines, we call it automation. That's the second stage. Then the third is IoT, where we call it Internet of Things, where those machines which we have automated, you control from anywhere in the world. You control those machines. Okay, so they are connected to the internet. So they are all connected, like your PCs were connected through internet. Now the things are connected to the internet. So that is IoT, third stage. And the fourth is of course AI. Now out of these first 2 stages, robotics and automation, we offer to school children. Okay, in robotics also we have classified it as construction and programming, because robotics is in a crude term also known as mechatronics, mechanical and electronics together. So the mechanical aspects we teach the younger children, and the electronics and programming aspects we teach a little elder children. Why mechanical to younger? Because mechanical things can be seen. Okay, you don't have to imagine things, you just see them, and when you do it, you see them. Okay, whereas electronics, you have to imagine the current is flowing through this wire. I don't know how it flows. You have to imagine it. So for a younger child, imagining that becomes a little difficult, whereas he's seeing something becomes easy. So we focus on the construction aspect with younger kids. Then slightly older kids, we focus on programming and electronics. And then we go to automation, 9th standard or something. So we want to give them age appropriate training,
Okay.
not something because just there is a fad. Okay, you fourth standard student trying to build an Android app, not out of 10,000 one boy is brilliant who can do that, but not those 9,999. So what we want to offer is for everyone. So general age, what is acceptable with their maturity, that is what we offer. And we don't go into IoT, we offer it to Polytechnic and Engineering College students. We don't go into AI right now. I don't believe that we have skills to teach AI at this point in time.
Okay. Okay. So you have all the way from what age to what age?
So we start at 8 years and we have up to 15, 16 years. Of course, whatever we teach 8 years, even a 34-year-old also likes to do it. So that's a different thing, but we don't offer it as a course. But yes, 4 years, 8 years up
Okay.
is what we offer.
And what are the kind of languages that are included?
If you like these conversations, make sure to hit the subscribe button. It helps us a lot. Hit that bell button to get notification when anything new happens, because season 2 is going to be rolling out fast. Now let's get back to the interview.
And what are the kind of languages that are included?
Okay, so for 6th and 7th standard, we do not use, when we program, we do not use programming language.
Okay.
We use a graphical tool,
Okay.
a programming tool instead of language. It's called MBlock.
Okay.
So nowadays everybody is aware of Scratch is a coding tool, and most of them use that. So this MBlock is based on that. It's a graphical tool where you just drag and drop the blocks and create a jigsaw puzzle kind of structure, and the code is automatically written behind it.
Oh, okay.
So they don't have to learn about programming language.
Okay.
8th standard we teach them Arduino programming language.
Okay.
So that is based on again C++. So if they learn Arduino, they are more. It's easy for them to learn C, C++, or even Python. But we teach Arduino.
Okay. So that's interesting. I studied C++ in my 12th standard and I found it so fascinating.
Yeah.
So much you can do and solve problems using programming. That's amazing. So I want to understand now all these children learning robotics, right? They will have some skills which other children don't have. They will have some skills that other children have no idea about. So how does that help them? Let's talk about careers.
Yeah.
After you graduate after your 10th standard, you choose science for 11th and 12th. And then after that, what are the options that these children can explore?
Correct. So I would, benefits of robotics, I'll put it in 3 immediate benefits. There is a mid-term benefits and there are long-term benefits.
Okay.
Immediate benefits are, you see a huge change in hyperactive students. They get focus. Their concentration increases. They can sit at one place for longer duration. So that's an immediate benefit. Another immediate benefit is the logical skills. Okay, so their logical skills improve, and logical skills are required even in your maths, your science, your studies also. Okay, your creativity. Okay, because you are actually creating something. You are when you learn something and you create new things, so your creativity gains boost. So those are immediate benefits. If you talk about mid-term benefits, obviously mid-term benefits are that, as you said, you will be one step ahead than your peers when you go into your professional life. Okay, which professions? Engineering, obviously, but now every profession has robot. Every profession, like if you see the civil engineers, when the skyscrapers they build to clean those glasses, what is needed? You can't make a person hang on a seat and from that is that's not safe.
It's not safe.
Yeah. So now who's going to do that? It's robots. So even if you are not going to make robots, you are going to use them. And to use them, if you know a basic knowledge of robotics, you will be a better user. When you have to select for your, like if I build a house or a colony and I want to select the items which I have to put, automation items which I have to put in my colony, I will be better placed if I know I have done robotics to decide that. The medicine, robotic surgeries are becoming very common practice these days now. Okay, and slowly in no time we will have remote surgeries. Somebody, doctor sitting in US doing a surgery on a patient in Goa.
I've already seen virtual reality surgeries happen where they wear their Apple headset and they can literally, put up windows, and it's amazing what you can do nowadays.
So correct. So that's what. So it is not. No field is going to be untouched by robotics. Every field, domestic right now, that's the huge field right now for automation. Okay, the sons and daughters, okay, young children going somewhere else, and your parents being at home alone. Okay, if you want to take care of your daily chores, the domestic robots are going to help them slowly.
How far have these domestic robots advanced?
The cleaning robots are now.
We know about those
Roomba
vacuum.
and,
We need Roomba and all. We know
correct.
that.
You know
but
that.
apart from that,
see, when I say robots are not only machines which move.
Right.
Okay. Robots are your security systems. They are robots. Your automation of your house. When you come in, the lights switch off. When you go off, light switch, switch off. So that kind of thing. Those are also robots. So automation, security systems, your help systems, your washing machines. Okay. They are getting intelligent day by day. So your Alexa. Or okay, that's a robot. So just today, ChatGPT 4.0 has been launched.
Yes.
Okay, they are saying 4.00 stands for Omni,
Okay.
and they have given it free. And they are now voice commands can be given to find the results.
oh, ChatGPT 4 is free?
Yeah, 4.0 is free now. They just launched yesterday.
Okay.
So now these are all things are going to be used by the people at home. Okay.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So I can imagine that the children who learn robotics, they can even say to their parents, you know what? Why don't we automate the lights?
Yeah, there is a threat that okay, their houses will get damaged now. so parents, sorry for that, but
So the parents may think that there's some paranormal activity happening, but it's actually their children who are controlling.
Yes.
So all of these things you can learn when you learn
correct.
robotics.
So our job is to teach them to think. Our Qurious Mind, we talk about nurturing urge to create.
Right.
So that is what we just ignite them, and once they are ignited, okay, there will be out of 100 there will be 10 students who will go and do something.
Yes.
Okay, we can't make everybody Sachin Tendulkar or Virat Kohli.
Yes.
Okay, but we can put them on that path.
Yes.
Now, how much to travel? It depends upon the individual. So my job is to instigate that creativity inside, which is still in a nascent stage.
Yeah. No, I mean, giving children the tools to do what their mind tells them. Like, for example, I had this idea that, in Goa we have monkeys. And these monkeys come and jump on the tiles, break the tiles, they come and steal the fruits. What if I could create a paintball gun on the top of my roof, which actually scans and look, okay, there's a monkey there, and then aims the gun there and shoots some bullets. It will not reach them probably. But all these things I could not do because it needs robotics. It needs programming. It needs, you need to be able to tell the camera to look for certain things. And okay, let's just take it as an example. To accomplish that, can you tell us the workflow that you would go through?
This podcast is sponsored by Creative Studio Goa. If you want to shoot your own podcast, we got everything here for you. Cameras, audio, lights, a soundproof space, and it's located right in the middle of Porvorim, right on the highway, very accessible. And for you who want to create your own podcast, get in touch with us. We can sort everything out just for you.
To accomplish that, can you tell us the workflow that you would go through?
Yeah, so everything starts with an idea.
Okay.
The first thing is there has to be an idea.
Right.
Okay. And idea, where does the idea come? It comes from the need. So if there is a need, so you should be a good observer.
Yeah.
The first thing is the individual has to be a good observer. When he is going around, he or she, is going around, they should look for the problems.
Right.
The problems will give you an idea, because once you identify a problem, then there will be solutions, and for solution you will have an idea. Once you have idea, now you need skills to move the idea into innovation, and there are hard skills which we are teaching. the robotics. There are soft skills like analysis, doing what I told, ideation process and all. Those are the soft skills which are there. And there are tools. Okay, out of which one we are teaching, which is the hard skills we are teaching. Once you get that idea, you get these tools, you come up with a solution, then it is time for prototyping, and that is the most difficult thing, prototyping, because
Really?
you're going to fail 99 times out of 100. Okay, like children these days, they see YouTube videos and they think, okay, I can do this. The YouTube video, the YouTuber has not done it in a first attempt. That boy or that girl, she has done it 99 times, find out how it has to be done perfectly fine, and then they have made the videos. So this is something which these children don't understand. They feel, okay, the YouTube pe video aa gaya, matlab this is something which can be easily done. So prototyping is going to take lots of time. Okay, and once the prototyping is done, that is where now you have to convert into a product. Then finally gives product, and there we need creative people, because the product should look good, should be easily usable, and that is where the designers come in. So actually this field nowadays, if you talk about it, it's a field of where you need multidiscipline people together. So you need to be able to work in this kind of teams also. So the most important thing is, as I told you, idea and how to move the idea into a product.
You know, being from the defense background, then getting into IT, and now you are running a business, right? Running a business requires a whole different skill set from what you have been used to. You would have to change your paradigm, think in a different way. You come up with an idea. How do you monetize that idea? How was that? Did you get some help? Did you get some, or do you come up with it by yourself? What are some hurdles you've come through? Because moving from an employee mindset, first from a service role, then an employee, now a business owner, you have to change the mindset. What are the hurdles you face? What are some of the struggles you faced?
Huge hurdles. Okay, the first thing is I had to drop my ego. Okay, when I was in IBM, I was in Air Force, I always was a top performer. I never was even in the second grade. I was always a top performer, and I felt that, okay, so now I am going to do this thing. I'm going to be a business person. I will be top performer. Okay, I started. Yes, I created curriculum. I am able to deliver it. Fantastic. When I give a lecture, children love it. Okay, I passionately speak to principals about my venture, and they like it, so they employ me or they give me contract. How to go further? How to add more customers? That's where I've realized that I don't have that skill. Okay, that selling skill. When I was managing my IT account, I was selling, I was doing scaling, but that's called mining. Already there is an account and I'm doing it.
Were you doing selling or scaling?
No, selling. I said, see, I'm delivering something, but then I see problems around that.
Okay.
So this is my given line. I'm doing this, but at the same time, I see around what is the problem those people are facing. And I'll tell, okay, this is the problem you are facing. Why not to automate that? Why not to do something? And then I'll get that business. So that is, we call it, in a corporate world, we call mining. So mining
like
an account.
Prospecting.
Oh, yes, prospecting. Yeah. So I was very good at it. I started my account with 7 people, and when I left, it was 100 people team. So I felt I'm good at selling. But then I realized, no, I'm not. That's a different business, requires a different aspect. So that's where, I struggled a lot. And that's where I met Mr. Yogesh Kerkar, who is from Goa. Somehow we met in Vibrant Goa, and Vibrant Goa has helped me a lot because of that. And Yogesh is the one who is now growing my business. He is going to work on how I achieve the growth which the business deserves and the business we expect. So yes, I realize that I need complementary skills, people with complementary skills who can work with me. Not just one person. I will not be able to, I may not be able to do it.
Right.
So that's the biggest hurdle which I had.
So it's the realizing that you don't have all the skills required to make a successful business. And then partnering with someone who has that.
Yes.
That's amazing. And what are the other hurdles you faced? I mean, The thing with business is you have to invest in it, right? And sometimes people feel like, I was speaking to another defense person, and he's saying business is tough. He was a dentist in the Indian Army, and he left that. Then he started like a resort in Goa, and that failed. And then he tried something else that failed. And it's like you're investing your hard-earned money into something and it failed. It's very painful.
Yeah, absolutely.
So running a business is difficult and it's not for everyone. What are your experiences with it?
I won't say it is not for everyone. I would say that, it's different than what you're doing. So you need to understand your positives. You need to understand your what are your areas where you need help. First thing is you need to understand what are your positives, and you need to understand what are the areas where you need help and seek that help from, or have people who are there. Another difficulty which I faced was, today it's a volume business. Most of the things, the margins are very small and it's a volume business. So when I wanted to create kits, I didn't have that volume. So no one was ready to create the parts for me. So I moved around Pune so much, and then finally I got a person. Of course, I still am very fortunate, and I'm keep on telling him that if that person was not there, I could not have come up with the kits. Now my kits are selling, so I can give them the volume. So there is one more thing which you need to know is how are you going to achieve the volumes. You need to know that time when you are going to achieve the volumes. So that is one more thing. And believe in yourself. Be persistent. It's going to take time. It's not going to happen on day one. So I had a friend once I started business, he said, he was in IBM. He said, Manoj, I also want to join a business. So I said, so you have to you have to invest this much, and then you will start earning. You have to wait for 1.5 years for, to be, start earning the profits. Till that time, so you have to know your break even. It will happen at around 9 months to 12 months. He said, but then how will I run my family? So you have to come out of that mindset that on 31st there will be a salary in my account. No, there won't be. So first ensure that you are going to be able to sustain for a next 12 months without any income, and rather money going out of your pocket. So that is what you need to understand.
Absolutely. So from what I understand, your skill set was in creating the curriculum, in teaching, and even selling. What you lacked on is in scaling, in marketing.
Yeah.
So now I understand you're doing a lot of marketing activities.
Correct.
One of them is through.
Yeah.
You're going to be teaching these things. Another one is this, where you are being interviewed on the Creative Genesis podcast, and this is going to be used. So what have you realized about the media, which is so important in scaling up in marketing?
Absolutely. So the marketing is completely changed than what we had. We used to see lots of TV advertisements and things. Those are not for us, because for a new starter, new entrepreneur who does not have a funding, you can't go to TV. Then who are the people who are going to help you? The people like the influencers, the people like the YouTubers. They are the people. That's the best marketing, because for me, my audience is children.
Right.
And what they do, these are the mediums, the social media, the YouTube. These are the places where they go, and they are going to listen to them. So influencers are playing a huge role in marketing today, and they help you. It's a boon for people like me, because that is in your budget. The influencers are in your budget. Or going on a TV may not be in your budget, but yes, that's what, and you reach huge. The WhatsApp, it helps you to reach different people in less money. So I definitely feel social media is playing a huge role into marketing now, and that's the main marketing channel, I would say.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the things that I have also seen is personal branding. Now, people come up with businesses, right? But what I have seen is when there is a strong personal brand behind the business benefits. Like, for example, Tata's, the brand that we think about is Ratan Tata.
Yeah, absolutely,
right?
correct.
Mahindra has a very strong personal brand.
Yes.
Right? And when these leaders, these thought leaders come up, immediately through their personal branding activities, benefits go to their companies.
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
Now, for example, there may be multiple robotics kit learning systems like how Qurious Minds is. But if people fall in love with you, get to know who you are, they get to understand your disciplines, your struggles, they get to understand your personality, they'll say, you know what, I know him, that's why I want to buy this.
Absolutely.
Have you seen that?
Absolutely, that happens because all my we have a good presence in Kolhapur.
Okay.
We did it in one school. The administrator from that school went to the other school, and she immediately called us. We want to do robotics here.
Wow.
And that's because what I have done robotics here. So it's because of my defense background that they connected with me. Okay, and because of the discipline which I was showing at their school, earlier school, and then a principal from that school went to another school. We went to that school. So my growth has been because of these people who I got connected in my first school, and that's basically, as you said, is because of Manoj Jamsandekar more than because of Qurious Mind.
Right.
So Qurious Mind grew because of, they knew Manoj Jamsandekar well.
Correct. Amazing. I mean, because having a person from the defense, then in IT, and now starting this, that adds a huge value to the company also.
Yes.
You know? So that adds like the backbone, because in the end, you are the backbone of Qurious Mind, right? Without you, Qurious Mind may not function as well. So people need to know you, your personality. And that is what I set up Creative Genesis about. Creative Genesis is all about the person behind the business.
Yeah.
Because knowing the person behind the business is so important. What do they think about? What are the struggles they faced? What is their personality like? And through this, we can do a lot more activity and reach out and get to businesses.
Guys, if you want to be interviewed by me on the Creative Genesis podcast, I've shared that email below. That email is strictly for business only. So get in touch and we are open.
So thank you so much for being a guest on this podcast. I wanted to understand also, so now that you're on the expansion mode, you want to get to more people. Initially, your thought was, you and your wife did the analysis and we said, let's reach out to children. So what is the vision for Qurious Minds? What do you all really want to achieve with children? What do you see the big picture as?
Yeah, so as our vision statement says, it's nurturing urge to create. I told earlier also, my role here is to bring that urge to create, that which is there, bring that flame out and let it become a fire. Okay, so that's our role. Second one, we also are very much concerned about is robotics at this point in time is restricted to the elite class. Okay, because of the costs involved, because of the tools which are required and they are costly. So we want to take it to the lowest strata, and that's where we say, okay, making robotics affordable and accessible to everyone. That is what we want. And for that, we have created a low-cost kit which is called REACH, and that also REACH stands for Robotics for Every Child. So that's what we have done, and that is our mission. So to achieve our vision, the mission right now which we are taken, and that is our mission in Goa also, to reach to lowest strata and everyone in the society. We have started doing free workshops all around Goa. Yesterday we started almost 7 cities. We are doing it right now. So that is the mission for us. And my experiences in my life, I have converted them into the values of my company. And I say the important value of my company is share to grow. So I always give this example. Okay, I say I have 100 rupees, you have 100 rupees. I give you my 100 rupees. You give me your 100 rupees. How much money you have now?
100.
100 rupees. I also have 100 rupees. But I have one idea. You have one idea. I tell you my one idea. You tell me your idea. How many ideas you have now?
2.
Two. I have two. So ideas, knowledge grows when you share it. And that is, so these are the three important pillars of Curious Mind. Nurturing urge to create, make robotics affordable and accessible to everyone, and share to grow. So that's what Curious Mind is built upon.
That's amazing. I think this will make a good viral reel. Amazing. So, great. So, we know your vision. Now, we are going to move to a little bit of a different segment. This is unique to the Creative Genesis podcast. It's called the Tandoor round.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to roast you a little bit, okay? So, it's called the Tandoor round, and it's a rapid fire question round. All right. So, the first question is, so what is your favorite dish, Manoj?
Favorite dish, gulab jam.
Oh yeah. Okay, that would not be for good for losing weight.
Yeah, I know.
But
that.
you wait, hold on, just a little sideway. You said you were working for many years to lose weight. You are so slim.
No, actually.
What was your weight before?
No, my weight before was 78 kgs.
That's not bad.
Yeah, for my height it should be 66.
Okay.
Okay, so now I have got to 70.
Okay.
So that's where now I'm happy. But it's because it doesn't show on me, my weight, because I have maybe higher bone density might be. But yes, it was higher.
Yeah.
So now I've lost that fat.
But anyway, I've known all defense personnel. They always trim and fit and very, very, very fit. So you're looking very good. So next question. What is the type of genre or music that you like?
I love intense music.
Intense music?
Yes. I love Hollywood, so Hindi movies, Marathi music also. So Lata Mangeshkar
Okay.
and Anuradha Paudwal. These are my favorite singers. And
Okay.
I love their intense music.
Intense music. So the Hindustani,
Not a classical one, the filmy one. Just to give an example, like Ek Duje Ke Liye. Okay. So 16 Baras Ki is a song from by Lata Mangeshkar.
Mhm.
So that kind of
Okay.
music.
Lovely. Since you are now into business, do you like reading books, and would you recommend any business book to any of the viewers?
Unfortunately, I love reading books, but that is an habit which I have lost. Okay, I know that's the most important habit for any successful person. Somehow I have lost that habit, so I won't have any recommendation right now.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right. What about self-development books? While growing up, do you remember
Yeah,
any?
absolutely.
Do you remember any book?
Definitely. That's a book which actually shaped me. It's a Marathi book which is based on a personality
Okay.
which is not known. He's Dr. GW or George Washington Carver.
Okay.
There's a book called Ek Hota Carver by a Marathi author, and Dr. Carver was the first agriculturalist.
Mm-hmm.
So agricultural scientist.
Mm-hmm.
He was born as a slave.
Okay.
He was from the period where slavery was prominent in US, and the day he was born, actually there was an attack to take his mother as a slave. Somebody else wanted, she was already a slave somewhere, and they wanted to take her out and take to their place.
Mm-hmm.
And she was born in that, and his mother died because of that, and he was born, and then he was raised by a white family, and initially for up to 9 years he was not able to speak, but the family found that boy,
Why he was not able to speak?
because of the trauma.
Oh.
Because of the trauma, the family found that this boy actually, whenever he worked with plants, they found that the plants were growing better than anyone's. Their garden was better than anyone. And he was not able to speak. He used to take care. Okay, and everybody started realizing that when this boy is touching the plants are better. And then he started maintaining the plants of all the people there. Slowly he became a agriculturalist. In his lifetime, he wore only 2 suits. The first one in which he sued. The second one, at his retirement, his students forcefully gave him the second suit. That's why he had the second suit. Otherwise, he would not have the second suit also. He was friend to Henry Ford, and Henry Ford asked him, okay, you never asked me anything. You ask me something, I'll give you, okay, whatever you want. So he said, can I have a diamond? So Henry Ford said, I'm disappointed because I thought that you don't need anything, you don't want anything. He said, no, I have every other stone, I don't have this stone. So he was looking at diamond as just one stone, not as a diamond. Okay, so that was the kind of person he was. And I read that book when I was in 10th. And the 4 sentences or his life mantra was, start where you are with what you have, make something of it, never be satisfied. And maybe that restlessness is there in me, and that's because of that book, Ek Hota Karwar.
Oh, it's a Marathi book.
It's a Marathi book. Okay, but it's you can get it in English also, translation. Once there was a Karwar, I think.
Amazing. Thank you for that recommendation. So we go on to the next question.
Yeah.
Who are the type of people you like being around?
My old friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, my old friends. I don't need to go out anywhere. If I have friends in one room, I can stay there for even a month. Okay, so yeah, we've talk about the same things again and again and laugh, but then I want to be with them always.
Yeah. And are these friends from school or from your defense or?
Mostly from my engineering college,
where
I spent 4 years. Yes, those are the best friends.
Even mine, the kind of friends you make in engineering college are different. Because I don't know, was this college a hostel college?
Yeah, I was in hostel.
Yeah, hostel friends are the best.
Yes.
Because you live with each other.
Absolutely.
Every time you're seeing each other and you're away from parents, so you form a very good bond.
Correct.
With them.
Yeah.
That's so true. Okay, now the questions are getting a little more personal. Name a time someone said something to you that hurt you.
Someone said something to me that hurt me. In my Air Force, I had my roommate, was a very good friend of mine, and there was a fight between him and another boy, and somehow I always I take sides of who is correct, and that time I felt that he was wrong, my friend was wrong, and the other boy was correct. So I took his side and I said, okay, you are wrong. And then after that, kind of we separated, we parted away, we drifted away, kind of thing. After a few years, once again I met him, and that time he said, okay, Manoj, this was a fight, and this is what you did. Yes, I said yeah. And I said, yes, I know that from that time, we kind of went slightly away from each other. He said, I knew that I was wrong, okay, but as a friend, you should have taken my side. And it hurted me not because he said that, it hurted me because I felt that what he said is correct, okay. It is same thing, like in front of the entire world, I have to be with him. Might be I would have taken him aside and said, okay, no, you were wrong, okay, but alone, when he was alone. But there, in front of everyone, I should have taken his side. So, not because what he said hurted me, because it made me realize that what I did was wrong, and that's why it hurted me.
I think there's a lot of deep meaning in that. Thanks for sharing that. Yeah, I mean, you have to take the side of the person that you love or the person that you care for. In private, you can tell him, this is wrong, and things can change. But loyalty, I guess. Yeah, I guess we all learn these things in life. But thanks for sharing that. That was a really good one. Okay, now who are the type of people you don't like being around?
People with shallow understanding of things, but yet they speak a lot. Okay, I don't like to be with them. Definitely, I don't like to be with them.
Yeah. You know, one of the reasons I formulated this question is because everyone answers it differently, you know. And it's a great way to get to know people and to understand their psyche. Some people say, oh, nothing has hurt me, you know. I don't care what anyone says, it doesn't hurt me. So, you know, everyone has a different thing. And this kind of reveals your personality, reveals your inner thoughts. Yeah. Okay, last question, probably one of the hardest. What is something that people don't like about you?
Mainly my wife. Okay. She thinks, or even my daughter, both of them think that I am, have this what we call OSD or something. Somebody who has a. I want things to be in a particular manner. Okay, most of the things. This has to be there. This has
OCD,
to be
yeah.
OCD. Yeah. So they say that I
obsessive
compulsive disorder. Yes. So that's why they hate that thing in me. Okay. Of course, they understand that, but then they definitely, and I know that they get troubled because of that. Okay.
So yeah, you should tell them what you told your interviewing defense officer.
I'm a perfect Taurian. Yeah. Even I have told them that also. So that they also.
Excellent. So now you should keep on repeating that. But amazing, great. So that was the Tandoor round. Yeah, we got to know you a little bit better.
I hope I'm not completely roasted.
No. It's a great way to get to know people, you know. I like to get to know people for who they really are, you know, and these kind of questions, they are answered normally very spontaneously. Yeah. So that's why I like it. So tell me something, now that we're done with this round, the pandemic, how did it affect you? I mean, we're out of the pandemic, but it was quite a major world event. And it affected everybody. What was your state during that? Where were you? What were you doing? And what did it do to you?
Yeah, actually, it hurt a lot.
Really?
In the sense, as a business, where we had in one school 300 students, after pandemic we had only 30 students. Okay, because as you rightly said earlier, that I had formed that connect with the parents, and that's why parents used to send their child to robotics because of me. And that the connect was lost during these 2 years. During these 2 years, the children were at home, and the parents did not know, and the new parents who now the children who came to 4th standard who didn't have connect with me, that the new parents did not know me. Yeah. Okay, and they did not. Everybody lost connects, and because of that, I also lost that connect with parents, and it affected the number of students, and which means again I had to start from scratch. So definitely affected me in terms of business, but at the same time, I used it as a period of consolidation. So I sat back and thought, okay, what is something which I need when I'm out of it? And that's where I actually created lots of e-content. Okay, and so now that e-content is actually, setting me apart from my competitors.
What do you mean by e-content?
So all the things which I teach are available in a video format now. Wow. So I'm able to teach now the same things. I'm able to, give this knowledge to the teachers of different schools. So I can now work with, people from outside Kolhapur, and I told you, that's where I thought of growth. So that is actually helping us in our growth, that e-content.
Amazing. So you do recognize very strongly the power of media.
Absolutely.
So what got you to record these courses online? What was the idea, and what is the benefit you see today?
Yeah, the first thing is I had lots of time. Okay, so I had to decide what I should do about that time. And then I realized that once we are over this, and the way the people are now getting used to e-learning, because they're forced to get used to e-learning, so it will be needed. Okay, and it will be helpful. So that is why I used that time which I had at my hand, because I couldn't go to schools and teach. I didn't have robotics was not running. So during that time, okay, so I created this content, and I knew that it is going to be helpful later, because now people are into habit of learning that way. So social media, I told you, it's a huge, powerful thing. Okay, and e-learning is the future. If you see, not in schools but in colleges, okay, in Western colleges, you see the most of the studies happen not in the classrooms. It is outside classrooms. The teachers give you assignments, and you have to come up with those assignments, and for that you go through libraries, the physical libraries, the e-libraries. You have to go through that, you have to talk to people, you have to get their views, and then you have to create assignment. So most of the studies actually happens outside the classroom there, and that slowly is seeping into the schools also. And this pandemic actually made the transition faster. Okay, so that's what I did during this pandemic.
And how did you do it? Did you hire a professional team? Did you shoot with your phone, or what was it?
Yeah, I was shooting on my phone, and so now where I talked about, where it comes is, now I want to redo that content in a professional way.
Got it.
Okay, so I'm redoing that content now in a professional way. So that time I did use my phone. I recorded on phone, I recorded screencastings, and that's how that content is. Though the content has value in terms of the knowledge, it lacks the presentation aspect of it.
Right.
So that's where now I'm working. But since I have done that content, I know the research part is already there, done. So I know what I need to speak and things like that. Now only thing is that I have to convert and redo it in a professional manner.
Amazing. I wish you the very best. And can you tell us how, by doing that, by recording these courses, it differentiated you from your competitors?
Yeah, because now the children can stay at home and learn robotics. So they buy kit, they have my e-content available on my YouTube channel. They can go through that content, go through the videos, and they can learn robotics at home. So those who are self-learners, they don't have to come to me. That is one thing. Second thing is the schools who are not close to me, where I can't send my teachers.
Yeah.
Okay. The teachers, they go through the training with me, and then this content acts as a refresher for them, or a resource for them, a teacher resource for them.
Yeah.
So they want to go to a class and we did that training, but I don't remember what sir had said during that training. What should I do? I just refer to that one video, which is a 5-minute video. Just before going to the class, refer to that 5-minute video, everything is recollected, and I can go and deliver the lecture perfectly. So it acts as a teacher resource, it acts as a student resource. So that's how it helps us, and that's how it sets us apart.
Amazing. So I want to understand, what is your business model? Tell us how this business works, or how do you deliver this education? I know you have kits, for example. There are some who also have a bunch of trained teachers who teach physically. In fact, I was speaking to someone, I said, why don't you record videos? Because then you can expand all over the world, or over India at least, because you need to still deliver the kits. So what is your business model? Tell us about the kits and how does it work?
Yeah, so we actually have robotics training is one vertical, and robotic kits. Kits support the training, because kits are a medium to impart the training. The robotics training, we again have, either we do it in schools or we do it as private. So in schools, we have a set curriculum from 4th standard to 9th standard. So we go and set up labs in schools. Either our teacher goes and teaches children every week, once in a week, or we train the teachers from the school and they teach the students once in a week. So we have a curriculum which goes for the entire year. There are 36 sessions they conduct in a year, one session per week. And as I told you, we need to train the students, we need a medium, and that medium is robotic kits. So we have now 5 different robotic kits. The main kit is we call Qurious Spark, which we use for teaching the construction aspects of robotics. And that is again another USP for us, because no one teaches construction aspect of training in India, or even abroad. There is only one company which teaches construction aspect of robotics. Everyone is focusing on the programming aspect of robotics. So we want people to even know how to create a machine, which they have to go on and automate it later. So we do that using our Qurious Spark robotic kit. And then we have another kit, Qurious Fire, which is which helps children to learn the programming aspect of robotic kits, programming aspect of robotics,
right?
Such. And then the smaller version of Spark, which is Reach, which is used to reach all the students, is a smaller version of Spark. And even smaller than that is a Mini, which can be gifted. So it's a kind of a gift version, which is anyone can gift for a birthday. Okay, so instead of gifting something which will be lost in time, we can gift something which will stay with the child, and which will instigate the child to be a maker. So that is Qurious Mini, Qurious Reach, Qurious Spark, Qurious Fire, and then we have Qurious Kindle, which is used for the competitions. There are robotics competitions happening many places where they need to perform certain tasks. So Qurious Kindle can be used to create a robot which can perform those tasks. So that's how we have this set. And all our kits are actually upgradable, which means I buy Qurious Reach now, and tomorrow I want to move to Qurious Spark. I don't have to again buy Spark. I can just buy an upgrade from Reach to Spark.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah. So
it's like a modular system.
Modular system.
So right from the lowest kit, it's upgradable.
Yes, upgradable.
That's amazing. So you don't have to buy a brand new, you can just pay the difference amount or whatever.
Yeah, correct.
Amazing. And tell me something, if people want to learn online, what are I guess you have a YouTube channel.
Yes.
So they can go to the YouTube channel, learn, and then they buy the kit through the website.
Yeah.
How do people get buy these kits?
Yeah, right now it is through website, but we are now tying up with a distribution channel. We have business partners across Goa right now. Almost 10 business partners. So we will be sharing their contacts and on our websites now, so that people can go and buy from them. Okay, so that's one. Or definitely they can buy online from our website.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Great. So what is your goal for the next 5 years? What do you see?
Next 5 years, I want to see that Qurious Mind runs on auto mode. So it doesn't require me to intervene, so that I can start writing books for small children.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you're really invested in children.
Yeah, definitely.
It's not just a business, it's also like a passion too.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I always feel that, okay, when you work with young ones, you stay young.
Yeah. And you look young.
Yeah.
So tell me, Manoj, do you have any passion projects? Anything that you're working on the side or hope to work on in the future, just as a passion, as a hobby?
Yeah, passion project in robotics, I actually want to create a flute. Okay, basically without a flute, play flute without a flute.
Okay.
So you just, when you play flute, you hold it like this. So you just hold the hands like that and play all the things without the flute, actual flute being there. So you just move your hands and the flute will
How? What do you mean?
play. So for a flute, you have a flute, and you put your fingers on those small little holes, 6 holes are there,
Yeah.
and you move the fingers so that you get sa, re, ga, ma, pa, da, ni, sa.
Right.
So instead of that, there is no flute. Just hold it hands like this, and you move like that, and then it should.
It's like an air instrument.
Yeah, air
Instead
instrument.
of an air guitar, it's like an air flute.
Air flute.
Amazing. So that would take knowledge of how to get the program to understand what's happening on video.
Yeah, not a video. It is going to be sensor based. So you are going to have
okay.
sensors on your fingers. The fingers are moving, and based on that, it knows which rag, which sur you want to play that time.
Amazing. Have you heard of this instrument called the theremin?
No.
So
Okay.
you should check this out.
Okay.
So the theremin uses electrical signals or sensors to play an instrument. I wish I could show you this now.
No, I've seen one person, one video. I don't know if the name of the instrument is same, but yes, there I have seen one instrument where they just with hands they
Yeah,
move hand
yeah.
gestures and the things
So that's the
music
theremin,
plays.
I guess.
Okay.
So what they do is you can move your hand away, the pitch reduces, bring it closer, pitch increases, and with the other hand you do something else.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
very
yeah,
cool.
yeah.
So I know someone in Goa, in fact, who has that.
Oh, okay.
I can introduce you to him, and you could go and meet
definitely.
him and check it out.
Definitely, yeah.
All right, so if people want to get in touch with you, what is the best way to do that?
It's with me or with my company. You can just go to www.curiousmind.com, or you have a Facebook page. We have a Facebook page, Qurious Mind, and you can contact me, or I think you can just drop me a message on a Facebook page.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And since we are closing the interview soon, do you have any message for the viewers? Any message for your parents or students or just the world in general?
Oh, I always believe one thing. So it's not a message for elderly people. Okay, definitely not. For the young students, hard work beats talent if talent doesn't work hard. So it is very important that whatever you are doing, put hard work in that. So you might have talent, but if you don't put hard work, the other people who are going to put hard work are going to beat you. So put your always best foot forward.
I think this is a good message for parents. And what would you encourage? What exercises would you ask the parents to get their children to do to inspire this ability to work hard? You're a parent yourself, so
I always believe that children don't listen. They observe. So that means that you have to be a role model. You have to, whatever you want to inculcate, you have to inculcate that thing in you first. If you inculcate that thing in yourself, children will observe and they will do exactly that.
absolutely.
So,
Amazing. That's some golden words. Very true. Thank you so much, Mr. Manoj. It's been a pleasure having you on the
Same
Creative
here.
Genesis podcast, and we wish you the very best for Qurious Minds.
yeah, thank you. Thanks.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the Creative Genesis podcast. This podcast is sponsored by Creative Studio Goa. You can find us on Google Maps. And hey, if you want to get in touch with us, the email below, use it for business inquiries. Once again, thank you very much. This is your host, Ryan Lobo from Creative Genesis podcast. I'll see you next time.